Broaden your cultural awareness and appreciation of the world around you. Increase your open-mindedness to others. See new cultures. Converse with other people from other parts of the world. Now, going somewhere you've never been before doesn't require thousands of dollars. It actually probably wouldn't even requiring you leaving your state. Many of us, once we graduate from high school, we never move 15 minutes outside of the hometown that we grew up in. I can tell most of you probably have something within an hour or two outside of your town or outside of your city that would open your eyes to new experiences, new opportunities, new ways of living. What is going on, everybody? Guys, welcome back to another amazing, very, very exciting episode of the Superhuman Life. As always, guys, before we dive into today's message, I want to take a quick moment to remind you how incredibly grateful and thankful we are to have you here with us today. Guys, I am Coach Frank, host of the Superhuman Life. And guys, welcome to 2024. If you're hearing this on release date, it is January 1st of our new year of 2024. So many of you out there have already gotten clear on your New Year's goals, on your New Year's resolutions. But more importantly, I hope you've asked the question is not just what do I need to do to accomplish these goals this year, but who do I need to become in order to make these dreams, make these goals, make this life a reality for myself and all the people in my life that I truly care so much about, guys. Guys, we're going to take a little bit different of an angle in today's conversation. I'm going to share with you the 12 rules to make this year, the 12 rules to make 2024 the absolute best year of your life. This is not going to be a podcast on how to set goals. This is not going to be a podcast on how to execute upon your goals. This is a podcast on how to make this year, the next 12 months, the absolute number one best year of your life, guys. Before we dive into the conversation and content, quickly remind you that if you are enjoying these episodes, guys, we're here at episode 232. It's hard to believe that it's been almost 5 years. Yes, this coming July, we will celebrate 5 years of the Superhuman Life. But if you're getting value and you want to continue to watch this podcast and watch this movement grow, you can help us support us in one of these two ways. First off, take a moment now, right now, pause this episode, or after listening all the way through toward the end, make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and written review, only if you're getting the value out of it. Now, if the things that we can improve upon, leave those in the review box here as well, guys, or send me a message because I want to make sure I continue to level up with the content, the conversations, and the podcast episodes that we're bringing to you guys. And secondly, every single person that is listening to this episode right now is going to have somebody in their life that needs a bolt of inspiration, that needs a shot of motivation to go on and make this year the absolute best year of their life. So you could do us a favor and do this individual the blessing by sharing this episode with them. It would mean the absolute world to myself and the team here at the Superhuman Life, guys. But I'm going to walk you through the 12 rules of how to make this year, 2024, or if you're listening at this in the future, whatever year it is that you are consuming this episode in, if you want to make changes, if you want to break through, if you want to unlock and experience life like you've never done before, these rules are what you need to focus on executing upon on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis, guys. Now, it's not a hierarchy of rules, so I'm not going to give you 1 through 12. I don't believe that you can just handpick a couple of these. The goal with this episode is to give you 12 things to focus on over the next 12 months that will accelerate you in the 5 key areas that we talk about here, guys. You know, here at the Superhuman Life and also with our organization, Rebuild Recovery, we talk about the 5 core components of living a superhuman life. And obviously, we have faith. You know, what is it that's guiding us beyond this world that we see? We have our fitness. Are we leveling up our physical fitness, our emotional fitness, our spiritual fitness? We talk about the importance of finances, guys, being able to provide the life that we want for ourselves and those that we care the most about. We talk about the importance of family, okay, the nuclear family, our communities, our friendships, our network beyond our home here as well. And then obviously we talk a lot about the importance of freedom, living free of sin, living free of addiction, but more importantly, living a life that you were called and designed to live, guys. So these 12 rules, like I said, they don't fall into a hierarchical order. Okay, I don't believe that one is more important than the other. I believe that all 12 are just as important as the rest of them, guys. So I'm going to take you through each one, provide some actionable tips and breakdown and how you can actually make this happen and go on, like I said, to make 2024 the absolute best year of your life. The first rule, guys, here to make this year the best year of your life is to get in the best shape of your life. Push yourself to do something physically this year that you've never done before. For many of you, this can be accomplished in the next 3 to 6 months. Set a physical transformation goal. I want to drop X amount of body weight. I want to lose X amount of body fat, or I want to put on X amount of muscle, guys. A physical transformation, in my opinion, is one of the greatest bolts of self-confidence. Because here's what we need to understand, guys. Think about the people in your life that you know that are in impeccable shape. You know that individual that when they walk into the room, everybody's eyes glance over at them. You know that person that just the presence, the aura, the energy that they carry by their physical presence, it commands respect from you, commands respect from others. Well, how do you get that respect for yourself? Become that individual that every single time you look in the mirror, you're reminded of the dedication. You're reminded of the goal setting. You're reminded of the commitment to absolute excellence. So make this year the year that you get in the absolute best shape of your life. Now, maybe it's not just a physical goal. Maybe it's not so much about the aesthetics. Okay, maybe it's doing something with your body that you've never done before. You've had your eye on that Savage race. You've been looking at the Tough Mudder. You've been thinking about, hey, you know what? I've ran a couple 5Ks. This is the year that I take upon a marathon. Or I've ran a marathon before. Now it's time for me to embark upon an Ironman journey. But push your body to the limit, guys. I think Socrates said it best. No man should walk away from this earth without understanding what his body is capable of. That's a slight modification of that quote, but those of you guys that are on the email chain know that that is a big part of my email signature, guys. But I believe as men, I believe as humans, we are called to physical greatness. And if you haven't yet attained this in your life, make 2024 the year that you get in the absolute best shape of your life. Rule number 2, guys, is to challenge your faith. Okay. And I'm going to break this down because this is a unique one. It's not finding your faith. It's not exploring your faith. It's not discovering your faith, because no matter where you fall in your relationship with God right now, no matter where you fall, I'm a true believer. I am a Christian that takes this walk out every single day. I'm somebody that maybe grew up in the church, but you know what? Due to whatever circumstances, maybe some church hurt, maybe I've had some mentors that led me astray. Maybe I've lost my relationship with God due to my own being, due to my own actions. Okay. We all have faith. Even those of you out there that don't hold a belief in any divine, spiritual, or power outside of this world, you have a faith in that belief. And the call here with this is to challenge why you believe the things that you do. Did you walk into a church when you were 8 years old and you were told to believe certain things, and that's why you hold the beliefs that you have here today? Or were you pushed away due to a human being that hurt you, and that has impacted your relationship with God, and you've never actually explored it or challenged? Why do I feel the way that I feel? And for those of you that are out there that are non-believers, those of you that maybe fall into an agnostic, atheist category, ask yourself some difficult questions. Why do I believe the things that I believe? I truly believe that in challenging your faith, you'll have a deeper understanding and a deeper appreciation of everything that life throws at you. So it's not a call to get into church on a weekly basis. It's not a call to join a support group. It's a call to question yourself and challenge yourself. Why do I believe the things that I believe? Okay. Ask those questions on a daily basis. And how do those beliefs shape the actions that you take on a daily basis, guys? So the second rule here in 2024 to make it the best year ever is to challenge your faith. Rule number 3, guys, read 10 pages of a educational, motivational, self-development book. Not 10 pages of Harry Potter, not 10 pages of Disney's latest release, not 10 pages of a fantasy novel, 10 pages of a book that is going to impart upon you education, wisdom, intellectual stimulation, guys. In order to do something in your life that you've never done before, it's going to require to have information that you've never had before. And that information is going to be found inside of books, okay? Not podcasts, not audio books, hard paper books, okay? Books that you have to hold in your hand, books that you have to take the words through your eyeballs, process them in your brain, and then ingrain that into a deeper level of understanding. I believe that this actually improves our focus, improves our concentration, and this will cultivate a habit of lifetime reading, guys. And I look across the people that inspire me the most in this world. Every single one of them is an advocate for reader. When you listen to people speak that move and drive you, when you listen to people speak that excite you, that motivate you to go out there and do things, they speak with a higher level of intellect. Their vocabulary is a little bit more expansive than yours. It's because they are reading on a daily basis. Reading adds knowledge, reading adds wisdom, reading adds words to your vocabulary that make you sharper, make you a more interesting character, makes you somebody that people want to relate to, makes you somebody that can relate to many other people. So dedicate yourself to reading 10 pages every single day over the next 12 months, guys. And I'm telling you, this rule in and of itself will change you, will change how you see yourself, will give you more respect for yourself, and will give you more to offer to the world. Now, the fourth rule here to make this the absolute best year ever kind of ties a little bit into the first rule here, and it is to learn a new physical skill. Maybe in your pursuit to get in the absolute best shape of your life, you need to learn some new things. You need to learn how to execute some exercises properly within the gym. If you're going to embark upon a triathlon, maybe you need to learn how to swim a little better. If you're going to do an obstacle course race, something like Savage Race or Tough Mudder, maybe you need to learn how to pick yourself up over a wooden board while drenched in mud, okay? But learn a new physical skill. Now, I would tell you, you actually get a lot more benefit out of learning a skill like an instrument, learning to do some woodsman work, some craftsman work, learning to do some things with your hands that you've never done before. Okay, this is going to enhance your cognitive ability through this acquisition of new skills. It's going to increase your physical coordination and perhaps maybe even increase your flexibility. So many of us, once we reach a certain point in our life, we stop learning new things. And I believe when we stop learning, we slowly start dying. So take some time over the next 12 months to embark upon a journey of learning a new physical skill and take that skill and improve the quality of your life. You never know. Maybe it's going to unlock a new revenue stream. Maybe it's going to unlock a new opportunity to start a business. Maybe it's going to unlock just a new hobby that, hey, you know what? Instead of watching pornography for 3 hours every single week, instead of binging on Sundays, okay, NFL Red Zone, I'd rather spend 4 to 5 hours woodworking in the garage. I'd rather spend 3 to 4 hours outside learning a new athletic skill, but take some time this year to learn something new physical with your body. Okay. The fifth rule here, guys, to make this year the absolute best year of your life is to travel somewhere you've never been before. Okay. Broaden your cultural awareness and appreciation of the world around you, guys. Okay. Increase your open-mindedness to others, see new cultures, converse with other people from other parts of the world. Now, going somewhere you've never been before doesn't require thousands of dollars. It actually probably wouldn't even requiring you leaving your state. Many of us, once we graduate from high school, we never move 15 minutes outside of the hometown that we grew up in. I could tell most of you probably have something within an hour or two outside of your town or outside of your city that would open your eyes to new experiences, new opportunities, new ways of living. Go out there, find a spring to dive into. Go to a national park. Okay, you could stay within your hometown, but I would tell you get a lot more benefit, at least traveling out of state or perhaps even out of country. But take some time this year to go somewhere you've never been before. Challenge yourself, set goals, make this a reward for something that you've accomplished. Here's how you could tie some of these rules in together. Embark upon a 3-month journey to transform your life. Then when you hit your goal, reward yourself with a trip across the globe. Go across the pond, see Europe, see India, see Asia for the first time ever. Australia, I heard, is a beautiful place to visit. Never been there myself, but go somewhere you've never been before because it'll open your eyes to experiences, to opportunities, and to individuals that you don't regularly have in your life, guys. Okay, moving on to the next one here. I think we're at rule number 6 here, guys, is to get your finances in order. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more later on about increasing your earning capacity, but this one is just having your financial house in order. Are you clear on how you're paying off the debt, guys? We have an exciting episode coming up next week on how to win the money game in 2024. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed because you don't want to miss that one. But many of you I know are dealing with financial stress because I hear from you on a regular basis. Many of you need more stability and security in your life. Maybe getting your finances in order is getting your spending in order, okay? Cutting off the restaurants 3 times a week, beginning to pack your lunch for food instead of eating out, beginning to eliminate debt, reducing the Amazon ordering that you're doing, cutting back on the gambling, stopping the fantasy football, stopping the video games, okay? But get your finances in order by controlling the output, But more importantly, we're going to talk later on about increasing the input, guys. But this is going to open up remove stress from your life. It's going to release a lot of the stress that finances can provide on you. And it's going to give you opportunities to see into the future and perhaps create lasting financial legacy for your family and real financial freedom, guys. Okay, so we're moving on here. After getting your finances in order, I want every single one of you this year to find opportunities to serve. Okay, increase your overall sense of purpose by finding a way to improve the quality of other people's lives. Here's one thing I know about every single person listening to this podcast right now is you have something that is truly special and unique about you that no other individual in the world can offer. And if you are not providing that to the world, that in of itself can become the source of your unhappiness. That in of itself can become the source of your lack of fulfillment. Because if you know that there's something that you can do for the world and you're not taking action on it on a daily basis, at the end of every single day, there's going to be this doubt inside of you that's lingering. Did I do all that I can this year? Did I do all that I can today to improve the quality of other people's lives? And here's what I know to be true. When you focus on improving other people's lives, the quality of your life improving becomes the byproduct of that. So look for opportunities to serve at church. Look for opportunities to serve in your community. Look for opportunities to serve in the political realm, maybe in your city or town. Guys, we need real leaders to step up. We need real leaders to begin to make change, impact the world so that we can have a world to pass on to the next generation, guys. So find opportunities this year to serve and give back. Moving on, guys, the next rule here to make 2024 the best year of your life is having a regular cold exposure practice. Okay, we've been talking a lot recently here with many of the guests about the importance of cold exposure therapy. Whether you want to call it cold showers, cold plunges, ice bath, guys. There have only been a handful of things that I felt like I've injected into my daily habits that have had a massive change on the overall quality of my life. And I have to put having a daily cold plunge practice right at the top of things that have produced positive effects in my life. Okay, it's been over 200 days strong now that I have gone without missing cold exposure therapy. I'm fortunate to have an ice barrel here that I've connected to a chiller, so I keep my water somewhere between 38 and 40 degrees. And I start every single day by exposing myself to this. Here's the first thing that comes out of it is I never want to do it. I never wake up excited to jump in freezing cold water. But after doing it, I feel accomplished and I'm proud of myself. I feel confident that I can do things that I don't want to do. But the benefits go far beyond just doing hard and difficult things. There have only been few things that improve the mental clarity and mental health of my life. And cold exposure therapy is right at the top because it doesn't matter how I feel when I enter into that water. When I come out of it, I feel alive, exhilarated, ready to tackle on the day, motivated, inspired, and full of juice and energy to go out there and tackle the world, guys. So get into some type of regular cold exposure therapy. It's going to improve your immune system. It's going to enhance mental resilience and stress tolerance. It's going to improve your energy and improve your mood, guys. And it's going to give you opportunities for growth through discomfort. Okay. Now, if you don't have access to cold plunge, if you don't have access to actually get your body submerged into it, I recommend a minute of cold showers. And you want to end on cold, guys. So if you're going to do the cold shower route, guys, make sure that you do your regular washing first. Get in there, wash the hair, wash the body, rinse off, step out of the water, okay, as you turn it down. Let that water get as cold as it possibly can. Let it sit there for 5 or 10 seconds to actually get to the temperature. And then you want to step in all at once. One of the biggest benefits that you get out of this is that initial shock to your system, is that initial shock to your physiological state, because now you're forced to bring your body back down into more of a calm rest and digest state, guys. So regular cold exposure therapy, I promise you, if you take upon this, if you do nothing more other than get yourself cold and wet every single day for the next 365 years, I can tell you, you'll be mentally sharper, you'll be mentally crisper, you'll be more mentally focused, you'll be more motivated to go out there and do the things that you know you need to be doing on a daily basis, guys. As we move on here, we're going to keep this ball going with our next rule to make this year the best year of your life, and it is living in a state of radical honesty across the board. Yes, I'm talking about telling the truth. I'm talking about telling the truth to yourself, talking about telling the truth to your spouse, talking about telling the truth to your kids, talking about telling the truth to your boss, talking about telling the truth to your neighbor, talking about telling the truth to your friends, talking about telling the truth to your parents, talking about telling the truth to every single person in your life. Radical honesty. That means we don't lie. Radical honesty. That means we don't come up with even the smallest of white lies. I always point back to the conversation that I had with Dr. Anna Lemke. God, this is going on over 2.5 years now since we had her on the show. But she pointed out that in her work, in her recovery work with men that are struggling with pornography and sex addiction, many of them, the first rule that she gives them is during your recovery and during your process and journey to freedom, you have to live in a state of radical honesty. That means if you were late to work because you slept in, you weren't late to work because there was traffic. You were late to work because you slept in. That means if you forgot to do something on the way home for your wife, it wasn't that the place was closed, or it wasn't that the thing wasn't there. It was that, hey, I forgot to do this thing. For one, it begins to allow you to live integrity with others, but more importantly, it creates integrity within yourself, because the stories that we tell others becomes the stories that we tell ourselves, which shapes our reality, guys. So radical honesty. I love the rule from Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Because you may not know the truth about every single scenario that you're speaking on, but what you do know is you know what is true to you and you know what is false. And just avoid saying the things that are false, guys. So that rule was tell the truth, live in a state of radical honesty, guys. Moving on to rule number 10 here, guys. Intentional conversations. Okay. And I'm going to break this one down here a little bit, because Frank, what do you mean by intentional conversations? Isn't every conversation that we have intentional? Not really. Most of you, when you're in conversations with others, are just waiting to have your opportunity to speak. Okay. Intentional conversations is locked in, engaged, present with a person, looking them in their eyes, not looking at my phone, not distracted by social media, not distracted by the music playing in the background, not distracted by whatever is on the television screen. But intentional conversation is going to improve your overall communication skills. It's going to strengthen your interpersonal relationships. It's going to deeper your connection with others, guys. And it's going to give you opportunities for growth through networking. Okay. I talked about this 2 years ago in our January 1st episode about setting time aside every single week to have a mock podcast with others. It's funny because we just had a great friend of mine on who I've known for a few years. Episode will be releasing in a couple of weeks. And I've had conversations with this man over years, right? We've attended church together. We've had lunches together, dinner together. We've worked out together. I've really had the opportunity to share a lot of my life with this individual. We're getting ready for the podcast. He's like, Frank, you know what? If we go about 30, 35 minutes, I think I'm going to be good today. I'm like, no, dude, just wait. We're going to go over about 60. We were so locked in and so present and engaged that by the time we got done recording, he looked up, he said, holy shit, Frank, like you actually know how to carry a conversation. I never thought that we were going to be able to go that long just having as much fun as we did. But here's the thing. Is for the last 5 years, I've been very intentional about my ability to be locked in and present with somebody. I've put a lot of work and energy and focus into understanding how to carry and craft a conversation that others want to be interested in. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and start a podcast, but I'm telling you that if you spent 30 minutes every single week with your phone set aside, looking another person in their eyes and focused on the communication with this person, focused on the conversation, what you will experience is a deeper sense of connection with that person, but a deeper understanding of yourself. This podcast has been amazing because we've been able to reach hundreds of thousands of people through these episodes from over 115 different countries across the world. But the biggest benefit of me doing this has been the growth in myself, my understanding of over 230 different individuals from all across the globe, all experts in their own field, all experts in their own life. But it's enabled me to now be able to walk into any room and converse with anybody. And I think that's a gift, and I think it's a strength, and I think it's something that every single one of you can develop in your life. So if you take some time this year, setting time aside every single week to have a regular conversation with your wife, have a regular conversation with your brother, have a regular conversation with your sister, have a regular conversation with your best friend. It doesn't need to be about anything super expansive, but focused on the conversation while you're present with the individual and what you can provide to them and what they can give back to you guys. So the 10th rule here to make this year the absolute best year of your life is having intentional conversations on a regular basis. Number 11, guys, it's getting control of your social media and cell phone use. I'm not telling you to eliminate any of these unless that's an area that you know that you're struggling with. And I can tell you, most of you that don't run businesses online, most of you that aren't using social media as a way to build a personal brand, and you purely use it as a consumption tool, you will benefit from going on a shortened period of time without it. Maybe you go a week without social media. Maybe you go 2 weeks. Maybe shut it off for 3 months. That in of itself will improve your life. But if anything, if all you did was say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to look at social media until after 12 o'clock. I can tell you without knowing who's actually listening to this episode right now, that the vast majority of you, the first thing you do, or one of the first 3 things you do every single day, is you wake up and you look at your phone and you start scrolling and you start reacting and you start comparing yourself. And now you're living in a stressed, reactive comparison state of mind. Instead of saying, for the first 3 hours of the day, I'm going to focus on gratitude. I'm going to focus on prayer. I'm going to focus on aligning myself with God. I'm going to focus on doing the things that I need to do. Did I move my business forward? Did I work on my side hustle? Did I work on developing my new physical skill? Did I get my workout out of the way? And then by noon, 1 o'clock, after you've checked 5, 6, 7 boxes for yourself, then you open up social media. And now you're not too worried about what everybody else has going on because you're proud of the work that you've done on yourself. Okay. There's direct correlation that data is pointing to now, that the amount of time we spend on social media has a direct correlation to our overall happiness, well-being, and mental health state, guys. So focus on the real world, get off from behind the screen by eliminating, not fully eliminating, but controlling and reducing your social media time, guys. Number 12, guys, the 12th rule to make this year, 2024, the absolute best year of your life is to increase your earning capacity, okay? We don't know what's going on in the financial world right now. Like I said, we're gonna have an episode coming next week for you guys on how to win the money game in 2024, but are we still in a recession? Will we have a depression? What'll happen with the market? What'll happen with the real estate market? What's gonna happen with the election? I'm not gonna go down any of those rabbit holes here right now, but just be prepared for the worst. And the best way to prepare for the worst is by upping your earning capacity. Okay. Maybe you need to learn some new skills to accelerate in your career. Are there certifications that you can learn? Are there classes you can take? Are there educational things, additional ongoing credits that you need to improve and increase your earning capacity in your specific field? You know, you're up for that promotion, but is somebody more talented and capable? They will probably get it. Now, maybe you don't have a lot of opportunities in your current positions, in your current jobs, in your current career to increase your earning capacity. This is where learning new skills. This is where maybe getting into copywriting, getting into high ticket sales, getting into video editing, understanding AI and how AI is going to change the marketplace. What can you learn and how can you take those skills to increase other people's businesses, the top line revenue of a business? If you can jump in and increase it 30%, I'm telling you, that business owner will offer you an incentive for that. But look at ways to increase your overall earning capacity. Maybe it's not even the acquisition of skills. Maybe it's eliminating time from social media. Maybe it's shutting off the video games and saying, hey, you know what? Instead of playing for 8 hours every single weekend, I'm going to drive Uber. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go yard selling and I'm going to flip things on eBay. I'm going to follow the Gary Vee model. But brother, I've got to tell you, there's an infinite amount of ways to make money in this world. Okay. There's an only shortage of people that are going after it, guys. So take some time over these first couple of weeks this year to look at the opportunities of how you can increase your earning potential, how you can increase your earning capacity, because that will help shape this year and make it the absolute best year of your life, guys. So I'm going to run through those 12 rules here just one by one, and we'll bring this episode to a close, guys. The first rule here is to get in the absolute best shape of your life. Number 2 is to challenge your faith in a way that you've never challenged it before. Number 3 is to read 10 pages a day. Number 4 is to learn a new physical skill. Number 5 is to travel somewhere you've never before. Number 6, get your finances in order. Number 7, find opportunities to serve and give back to others. Number 8, regular cold exposure. Rule number 9 is tell the truth, live in a state of radical honesty. Number 10 is have intentional conversations on a daily and or weekly basis. Number 11 is to control your social media and phone usage. And number 12 is to increase your earning capacity, guys. That's it. If I can guarantee you, if you execute those 12 rules over the next 12 months, you will look back on December 31st, 2024, and you'll say, holy shit, this guy, Frank Rich, knows what he's talking about. This was the absolute best year of my life. I saw more opportunities. I made more money. I got in the best shape of my life. I improved my relationships. I increased my awareness of others. I increased my awareness of myself. I explored my faith and I got closer to God. And my life is better because of all of that, guys. I hope you found value in this episode. If you did, make sure to share it with as many people as possible. Okay. If you're watching here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, guys. Okay. We got big things coming here in 2024. If you're listening on the audio side, make sure to share this with as many people as possible. Leave us a 5-star rating and written review. But Coach Frank, your host of the Superhuman Life, we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.